everybody, it's Pamela Swartz, your future state senator for District 1. And today I would like to talk to you about the climate change and racism because I think they're really connected. So let's just think about this for a second. So the environmental crisis that we're in right now was only allowed to happen because we all agreed that there are certain places on our planet that are disposable. We can pollute them, we can destroy them. They're sort of sacrificial areas in our planet. We thought it was okay to trash the land for oil exploration and oil pipelines, that it was okay to pollute our oceans in order to make deep wells for oil rigs, which ultimately would leak. We thought it was okay to pollute our water sheds, our aquifers, our rivers, our creeks, our streams with chemicals from industrial and also fracking industries. We even thought it was okay to pollute our air, with car emissions and industrial emissions. We decided that it was okay to do all this because these places, again, were deemed essentially disposable. So what about the people, though, who live in these areas? Are they disposable? Are their human lives less valuable? Are they expendable? Of course not. But you know something, that's not how it's played out over the years. According to the EPA, people of color, black, brown, indigenous people, are much more likely to live in these areas of industrialized areas, especially those folks who are living in poverty. So they suffer more. They have more health issues. They have asthma, let's say cancer, heart disease, all because of where they live. Their life expectancy is less. Their earning potential is less. Their overall health is reduced, again, just because where they live. But meanwhile, on the other side of the tracks, big corporations who are responsible for all this pollution, they're making money hand over fist, raking in the dough. And then they're using their money and their power to avoid regulations, to avoid penalties, to buy politicians that do their voting on behalf of the corporations and not the people that the politicians are supposed to be looking out for. So meanwhile, here we are. We have climate crisis is accelerating. We have people of color who are disproportionately suffering from the climate crisis. And we have less and less time to slow down the existential threat to every single living creature on our planet. It's pretty dismal, but you know something? I'm really hopeful. And I say that because I think times are really changing. Over the last several weeks, the movement from the protests from the Black Lives Matters, the youth, other organizations, they're lifting up the voices of the people who have been silenced for so many years and who have suffered the most from the environmental pollution and destruction and climate change. And you know what? Those voices are finally being heard. So I believe that we have to aggressively fight climate change. And I think that's the only way we're going to actually have equality in our society, regardless of your race, your color, your income level, where you live. And that's exactly how I will vote if I'm your next state senator. I will vote to ban fracking in California, unlike my opponent. I'll vote to continue to fund cleanup of areas where there has been lead poisoning, unlike my opponent. I'll vote against California taxpayers having to be on the hook for paying for cleanup from old oil and gas wells. And I'll vote always for our constituents and for labor and the environment. So I'm asking you to join our people-powered movement. We are on a campaign to fight environmental racism. And so if you hire representatives like me that represent you, the people, then we don't have to worry about the corporations or the special interests getting an upper hand. So something else I really want to share with you that was super cool that we did this week too, is that we had our first meeting of Changemakers. And Changemakers is a youth-led organization They're a group of voters, and actually people who aren't yet voting, who are super supportive of progressive policies for our district. During our first call, our first Zoom meeting, we talked about racism, we talked about Black Lives Matters, we talked about climate change, we talked about how to fund education, we talked about so much more. But all I can ask is, if you are a young voter, please message our campaign team on our Facebook and Instagram, and ask to join this Changemakers group. Because I have to tell you, if people under 30 voted at the same rate people over 65 voted, we would win. You guys are driving the bus. You just got to get behind the driver's seat and actually show up and vote and get involved, because every single legislative act in the state of California and nationally affects you. So please get involved. So I just wanted to say thank you for listening to my recap of this week and for this discussion. And it's our plan to be doing these on a more regular basis, so you get to know me, you get to know our campaign for change, and you also get to know the fact that we are here and I am only going to advocate for you. All right, so I hope you have a great rest of the day, and please get in touch with us if you'd like to endorse our campaign or volunteer, and of course donate. And our website is PamelaForSenate.com. So thank you so much, and take care. Stay healthy.